Hello and welcome to Afternoon Jams with Michael Vincent. This is episode number 6 in my series, Intro to Improvising. On today's episode, I would like to discuss the 4th degree of the major scale, the Lydian mode. So let's take a look at C Lydian for a second. C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, back to C. So how do you construct the Lydian mode? And so the answer is you take the 4th note of the major scale. So if you remember, that would be an F in C major, and you raise that 1/2 step or half degree to the F sharp. And that's why you have E, F sharp, G for Lydian, and then E, F, G for major. Major there. And now we'll do Lydian again. So what could we do with this? And the answer is quite a few things. So let's take a look at that 2-5-1 backing track for a second. Now when you get to the C, you were playing like the C arpeggio, C major scale, and that's natural. But maybe you want to add a little more tension to your solo. Maybe you're trying to communicate with another soloist on stage to take over, or to a friend that you want to change it to a different part of the song. So you might want to go to the C Lydian over the C portion. So let's give a listen to that. See how that adds a little bit of tension to it? Now you don't want to do that all the time. That's why I mentioned before I showed this trick to you, like maybe you want to communicate or something. It's not something to be done all the time, just every now and then to add, like I said, a little tension and a little color to your solo. Otherwise, you're going to want to stay along the lines of what you would be doing before, C major, that kind of thing. Now, another way we can use Lydian is, it's unique in one way that at least I think, because it's used to describe a chord. So anytime you would hear a chord description or chord name use the word Lydian, it's going to mean that it has the raised 4th note. So let's take a look at, like, say, E for example. We have an E major 7. And that would be E, B, D sharp, G sharp. Now if we were to do a Lydian, E Lydian, now we have E, A sharp, D sharp, and G sharp. Now this comes into play when we get into the chord solos and that type of thing. Also, when we go through the arpeggios of the melodic minor scale, you see something like the Lydian augmented. And we'll go over that later on when I go through that specific mode in the melodic minor scale. So back to the mode here. What could we do with it? I'm going to change gears here and switch up the key to an E Lydian. So we'll go through the notes of that. We have E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, and back to E. The Lydian mode, I think it's a fun platform to kind of solo over in a modal way. And that's typically done when someone's comping, and that's kind of just running on a single chord for a long stretch of time. So I did a little loop here, and this is just a B6. So listen here. And a lot of times when you get into soloing on stage, that's kind of the platform that people take, is to comp over one chord, maybe two chords, over a long period of time. And you bring in the modes for that. And it's important to know this because phrasing is imperative when you're doing that part. And I know we've briefly touched on motif development and phrasing in other videos. And this is a good opportunity to do that, because Lydian's a great vehicle. Now I have a link to the backing track for what I'm using in this portion of the video in my description here. So let's take a look here. What could we do with this? And you see I was kind of going over it. And I was doing that, I wasn't phrasing per se a whole lot, because I wanted to just run through the scale a little bit. Now let's get into like different phrases that you could use and what I mean by phrasing. So you heard how I was kind of going back and forth for one time, and then another time I was there's something along those lines. I forget exactly what I played there, but the point is I was building the motif. And then you go. Or something along those lines. You finish in a unique way. And one exercise that you could do to build up this kind of natural habit that you get into when you're playing is take a little lick that you have, like maybe this. Just play through it 3, 4, 5 times in a row. And then finish it a different way each time. So let your mind kind of just pick where it goes. And then you kind of go, oh wow, that was pretty cool. And whenever you do that, the listener's going to be pretty much doing the same kind of thing. And so that's one way you can get phrasing and motif development into your system. Something like that, where you're just but you see here, playing over a static chord for a long period of time, your lines can get a little longer. Just make sure you're breaking it up so it doesn't sound like a run-on sentence. So I'll have the PDF file for this episode in the description below, a link for it. And next week we're going to go over the Phrygian mode, which is the third degree of the major scale, and all the different things that you could do with that. So if you like this video, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the little bell notification so you can keep up to date with all my latest episodes. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.